Did you see that link that Ninja? You can cut out on me again. You guys see it?
Good morning, everybody. Let's monitor the market this morning. Keeping an eye out on GLUU and Inspire. Inspire has potential today.
Hey, so let me ask a question. What if these hedge funds continue this game of limbo forever and ever and nothing ever happens? And I might be asking a dumbass question.
Well, a lot of us considered that before, and that's why we averaged down and got into other positions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't feel like competing with the president and his treasury when it comes to stocks, personally. I don't argue with police officers with guns. I don't try to compete with presidents. Just not my game. It can last years and years if you do that.
This thing on? Like that. I have a weird mix with my Bluetooth. I don't know if it's good. What about now, Art? Is that any better? No, I changed some levels around. I'm wondering if it's not picking up more background noise. I'm gonna do some settings. I'm glad you know that.
So this is the pre-market. I'm watching, just personally for me, I'm watching Inspire and GLUU. Glue had
a kitty coin, and then you automatically have the dog-cat rivalry bidding each other up. War.
Glue had a contract with EA, whereas EA is going to buy their company and give shareholders $12.50, but that doesn't finalize till June. And Inspire, just the price was rising a lot yesterday, and I want to monitor to see if it keeps going today. And OCGN, I can put it up there, but like I said, I sold it yesterday at 18. If you didn't sell at that time, you're still holding, probably going to earn a little bit less money. So I put a poll on the channel, see which stocks people want to buy if you want to check the post. And I think that today a lot of people were trying to get OCGN yesterday, but the price dropped some. They may grab that today. AMC is dropping a lot. The Chinese firm that invested in AMC converted their shares, getting ready to sell their shares. Gamestop may stick around $60. I think the hedge funds could go forever with this. Do you really think it will go to $40 Dog Day afternoon? It's possible. I think the lowest GameStop will go this month is $27.
Well, it's like, at what point do you trigger, like a buying frenzy that triggers, whatever else? It's kind of a, yeah.
I think I got it sorted now. You might get a little fuzz, but a lot better than it was. Okay. Ninja, did you have a chance to look at that link?
Who's that talking?
Maverick about the Xbox.
Yeah. Check the chat. Check general. You were right. It's not exactly what I was thinking, but I had never heard of that. Because that you have to get like a credit line, which is
Well, yeah, but I thought that's
yeah.
kind of along the same lines that you were going at, where you would pseudo finance the console, and then we got it. The nice thing that Microsoft did
Yeah.
about that is, even though you are financing, you're getting like the extra stuff makes the console free.
No, I think it's like a prototypical version of what I'm like talking about. If not, like I think they might be one and the same thing. I think you're right in that respect.
Well, then they just keep sweetening the pot too by adding more and more stuff that comes along with Xbox All Access. The fact that you get EA Access now, the fact that you have, the entire Xbox library, it's a pretty serious deal. If you can qualify for the credit, you're basically getting a free Xbox that you would end up spending $25 a month to have all those services anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly the appeal that I'm talking about. If we can get past the credit thing, I think that would be the most important thing because, if people are having trouble spending $500 on a console,
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah,
But how do we get rid of the idea of a credit score, or at least not get rid of the idea of it, but like make it so that building credit is more of a plausibility. When you
right.
start at zero, and bad credit's worse than, or no credit's worse than bad credit.
Yeah, and I mean, you start stacking things like, hey, maybe you got to buy a couple games with it on there. There might be some room to play around. I don't know.
I think the best idea would be to do it like they do with the free platform games. Basically, have a free Xbox and just do hella add-ons. Just pay for a bunch of add-ons. That way, the Xbox can pay for itself with the add-ons, and you make more money at the end because you're basically paying monthly subscriptions for everything.
Well, if GameStop could, I mean, we're talking about Xbox, but you've also got best-selling one right now, mostly because of supply issues on Sony's end. But is Nintendo Switch? You've got the PS5, which is
I feel
blowing Xbox out of the water. So
Yeah.
if GameStop could say you've got like a base console fee, switch it out at any time. I don't know if they figure out.
GameStop doesn't want to sell PlayStations. GameStop wants to sell Xbox.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they have an incentive to, but it's not. I mean,
Right? Yeah,
Well,
I chimed in with that yesterday. If they sell for every Xbox that GameStop sells, Microsoft will give GameStop money for the games that they sell because they know
they have that
GameStop isn't
contract.
selling anything.
maybe GameStop makes a similar contract with Sony, an exclusive one. Who knows?
They really need to because Sony really has screwed a lot.
But I think Sony's such a big platform that they don't want to get like just cornered by the market and monopolized like that. They want to be free. They want to have the market like more abroad, I guess.
Wait, who wants to have the market like that? Sony or Microsoft?
Sony.
If Sony wants to broaden the market, then why are they one of the only companies that are consistently holding out for crossplay?
Because they know that you can only get their games on their platform, and they want
that's
to buy their console.
They wouldn't want to. I guess abroad was the wrong word. They would never want to partner with GameStop.
Well, like quid pro quo. I mean, why does Sony need GameStop when they are, recent changes barred with Switch being an newcomer? PlayStation's had the market share for the last 5 generations now, all the way back to PS2. I think was
Definitely.
The only PS2 versus Xbox was a close race until 360.
I'm gonna tell you that this is about to become a real touchy subject.
Hello?
Well, the funny thing is that we're on the board, like we're skirting topics of social movements and race and different aspects. We're kind of like, let's stay away from those, and then we jump into one of the most violent back and forth feuds ever: Xbox versus PlayStation.
PC Master Race. I'm sorry, I had to just chime in with that. I couldn't hold it in.
I love them all. I love them
Yeah.
all.
9
Hello?
times out of
But
10, I'm
PlayStation's
sitting
my
at my
favorite.
gaming rig playing my Switch, talking on the internet. I play more games on my Switch than I do on my system with a 2080 Ti in it. So,
Hey, I got a question. Once the squeeze happens, what are the chances that they suspend the selling of the stocks and not the buying?
Let's get there first.
Yeah, that's a long if.
Right, because they do have the power to do that, and that would favor the hedge funds, correct?
Yes, but they got the power. It's been shown that they got the power to do anything.
Aren't the hedge funds going to pretty much lose all their leverage, especially with the past couple days? Like, how do you short a stock that's flat? I was thinking about that. Any input on that?
I think this is where the advice we're telling everybody hold to basically try to maintain the flatness to make it less obvious of their buying and selling back and forth. That was the whole premise of that.
so due to recent everything, Reddit's doubled their value, or the evaluation of Reddit is now 6 billion from what it was in 2019 at 3 billion.
Do they have a public IPO?
Not that I'm aware of. On a quick search, there have been some rumors floating around that they were going to try to do it before the end of last year, but then again, pandemic, so maybe it's in the pipe for upcoming. No, it's a Bluetooth headset when I'm at work. Well, I mean, I am in a factory running a big ass CNC machine, so. When I'm at home, it's a lot different because I have the streaming set up with an actual mic with a Steel Series with that mic instead of just this whatever crappy Bluetooth that I'm on here. you're gonna mute me to your ears as well, so it doesn't go to the strings at you.
All right, so if you think
I'll DM you if I have anything to directly.
If you think GameStop was squeezed, let me hear it in the comments below. I am just waiting one more week to see what happens after the short interest ratio, and then we're gonna see what happens. If you think GameStop was squeezed, let me know. If you're still holding, let me know if you're still holding. Thank you.
No, this is something new for me today. I know over like last week you were pretty clear, but like you said, it probably was when you were at home.
So we have a few people still holding GameStop in here, and we'll see what happens. I mean, the price hasn't really moved a lot this week. Fabian, what research are you talking about? Have you counted all the shares that have been shorted and then repaid, exercised? Alright, Fabian. Yeah, that's why I'm still keeping it up. Some people have information,
So I
some
know
don't.
somebody's gonna be a little upset, but I had to dump one GameStop yesterday because it was I kind of got out at a high. It went down, and I was able to try to get back in. But right now, I already got it set for a 9:30 purchase already. I'm ready to go, just to get my one share back.
I like your style. Get it back. Go get it.
You do it
Yeah, I mean,
down.
I did. Well, okay, so no, I did not bring my average. Yes and no. Yes, I did bring my average down, but it wasn't in the most specific way.
Fashionable way.
It wasn't in a fashionable way. Yeah, it was. It was kind of cheap. Like I jumped out, I bought something that was on an up. It shot up. I think I picked up like 200% yesterday, and I was able to get some of my money back, and I jumped back in. I'm not going to promote that ticker because I did not do any due diligence on it. It was just on a whim from some posts and some stuff that some people were talking about. I jumped in on it. I looked at the website. I ran through some of their products, but it wasn't like I actually did some reasonable and meaningful research on them to actually make a good judgment call. It was just let me jump in on this to try to get some of it back. And yeah, I mean, it allows me to now I can get back in on the GameStop, and I still have a little bit more play money right now. That's the best thing about it, is because GameStop has had me tied up for a week now with nothing. I've been unable to jump on anything.
Yep, I've been in the same boat. Actually, I moved $500 on over the weekend and it hit today, so I have a little bit of play money.
There's suddenly a whole bunch of movement pre-market in AMC. It's going down a lot.
AMC's been super low.
The volume just went nuts though on AMC, and they're selling off.
I told you guys yesterday that Chinese company converted their shares. That means they were getting ready to dump all their shares. There is no squeeze with AMC. I just want to clarify that. Some people keep throwing around the word squeeze, but there's no AMC squeeze.
Do you think this is going to keep on going down?
I mentioned yesterday it could go down as low as $2.50, $3 range.
Fuck. Damn.
How do you estimate where you think the stock's going to go to?
You take all the, if you know a firm's going to sell all their shares, you can just calculate the downward trend. And since I know that AMC is not a short squeeze, and that the value of the company is really low, even though they just got done paying their debt, I'm basing it off of the value. So when this Chinese group sells all their shares, other people are going to get scared, sell their shares. Or some people are holding AMC. They'll keep holding. That won't really affect the market, but the people selling will affect it. And then eventually, even a low volume selling and buying will make the price go down.
How did AMC and Blackbird and everybody get dragged into this GameStop squeeze?
Misleading short interest ratio post. Those websites were a little bit delayed on the short interest ratio as well. Short says it published on one date, but it's still behind. People not quick, that's why. They want to buy and hold. They want to buy on the peak and hold a stock. I don't know why. I bought AMC around $2, $3. I sold it at 22 when it peaked. I knew that's when it's going to peak. I'm not going to hold it longer than that.
Yeah, I got in for not a lot of shares at all, pretty cheap, and then I sold it when it went up to 17. And then after that, I'm like, well, I probably should get back into it. So now I'm just waiting to try and break even on my latest purchase.
This is exactly why, for everybody that would be listening in the chat, in the YouTube stream, why the two things that always says is we're number one, not financial advisors, and number two, do your due diligence, because some people see things in a different way. You could see it going up and say, hey, it's at 17 and somebody thinks it's going to go to 40. I'm going to jump in, but you don't do any research on it. And you're sitting here right now at 6 trying to figure out when that 40 is going to hit. And it's just like, nobody's telling you to hold, or it's just what some people do see. Like Tame said, I got in, I seen the peak, I got off, and nothing's stopping you from going back in now. I mean, it could go down to 2, but it could also go back up to 20. But without doing your due diligence and being able to actually forecast and project that and see where you want to be at, you can't really always go off of a whim of what someone else is just, hey, you should do this. That's why the recommendation is always do your due diligence and do not become and then we're not financial advisors.
Yeah, some people just keep holding. If you're going to hold for 1 year, don't buy at the peak. Find a new stock that's already low. Ideanomics is an example. Earlier this year, Ideanomics is only 37 cents when they thought they could possibly face bankruptcy. And, earlier last year when COVID hit, but now it's over $5. So this is great. Some people I know you're holding so you don't have to pay a higher capital gains tax if you're going to hold for 1 year, but ultimately you lose money when you buy at a peak and hold for 1 year rather than flipping short term stocks that are low and sell when they peak.
And that also brings into the point of being able to lower your average. If you buy in at a peak, I mean, if you're just jumping in because you're just, hey, everybody else is on it, I'm getting in with it too, without doing your diligence, you run into an issue when you're putting in money that you are not able to, lose. Not really lose, but money that you can't just sit somewhere and just forget about.
Hey, quit poo-pooing on my end. Just woke up, okay? If I want to put money in blind, might.
No, that was everybody.
Yep, we
I'm
broke
waiting.
up.
I'm hoping he would have realized how laggy he was, or I was waiting for somebody else to chime in. But I kind of get the gist of what he's saying. I don't want to poop on his parade. Hey, if he wants to do it, I'm not going to tell you what you can and cannot do.
Do you want to be done with?
That's because the mic was still asleep.
Yeah, my phone's on a different sleep cycle than I am. But yeah, if I want to put in dead money, that's my business. It's also how I play cards.
Fuck yeah.
Morning, everybody. Buckle up.
Let's
Let's
get
go.
it, boys. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Boys and
till
girls,
press
let's
time.
go for a ride today. What do you say? You pumped up? You got some diamond hands? You got some
I've been looking forward
adrenaline?
to today all night. Yeah, hell yeah.
Y'all got that? Hey, listen, I got that ape strength today. I got that gorilla energy.
Ding ding.
Let's go.
Ding 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 ding. Nice.
That was amazing.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, here comes the open dip.
Run back. Hell yeah.
We're going off the rails for real, one way or the other.
That's just a classic.
Oh, DMCA.
I will say, I don't know if it was just Robin Hood trying to be funny, but I swear I just saw a spike to 60.
I seen the same thing.
Yeah, see, I'm glad I'm not the only one that saw that. I saw a spike to 60 through Robin Hood, but when I'm checking the candles, it's not even